I ate something at 3 a.m. this morning.
What did you eat?
I had a cheesy might scroll and it didn't go down that well.
And why did you eat it at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Because I woke up and I was like, why can't I get back to sleep? Could it be that I'm hungry?
Usually the answer to that is no.
Yeah, well, that's what I discovered.
But you give it a go anyway. I've done that many times. Yeah.
It didn't hit the spot.
Anyway, should we get to the real stuff?
Welcome to So Uncouth, a podcast filled with conversations you can't have in polite company. I'm Victoria Hannaford, a recovering journalist. I'm with Caroline Craig, a professional actor and giver of great speeches.
Oh, very
And
good.
we're with our friend, the mysterious Bunsen, whose previous performance has been rated as satisfactory.
Oh, well, it's better than unsatisfactory, but it's not great, is it? Still smarting.
Yeah, look, in a binary, I'd take satisfactory. We're three friends who live in three different cities and you're joining our weekly catch-up and we're delighted you're here with us. Now, Bunsen, I believe you've had a recent work-style interaction
I have had a recent work style interaction.
that you found unsatisfactory, perhaps.
First of all, I sent an email. I want to know whether or not you guys think the response to that email is couth or uncouth. Okay?
I love it. A classic workplace etiquette.
A dilemma. We've got a dilemma we need to sort out.
As far as I'm concerned, it ain't a dilemma. But listen, obviously, some of this interaction needs to be shrouded in mystery to
Redacted.
protect the identity of all involved. Mine mainly. Basically, I was looking to send someone who I had worked with a long time ago a kind of networky email to see if they could give me some advice about something that I'm looking to do. Okay, is that enough information?
Was the advice, it was pretty vague, right?
It was pretty vague, and it was just, we live relatively close to each other. Let's have a coffee.
Let's have a catch-up.
Okay, great. Reconnect.
Yeah. And the response that I got was, yes, that would be great, but I do charge $150 for these kinds of meetings.
Right. So you were stepping over a professional.
Couth or uncouth? I ask you. Like, it was just a kind of like, I think you've been working in an area where I'd love to pick your brains about blah.
Pick your brain. That's casual. Just like, let's meet up for a coffee.
I mean, it's pretty gross for a turn of phrase, pick
It
your
is
brain.
kind of gross, but it's like a thing.
I didn't use that turn of phrase. I'm just saying that was the vibe.
Okay. So, Bunsen.
Okay, Victoria, I want to know, couth or uncouth, what's your feeling?
So I have a couple of thoughts. So I remember you sort of telling me that you had this person in mind for picking their brains and whatnot. And so as we all know, I am a former journalist and there's not a name that I don't want to investigate when it comes up in conversation.
You're an internet stalker.
Investigative journalist, I like to.
Picker. She's a professional picker.
I'm nosy, all right? Curious. There's different ways to describe it. But I did look this person up on the dreaded LinkedIn, sort of lodged in the back of my brain that the way they describe themselves online, which was sort of consultant, freelancer, that they may view this as a professional rather than friendly interaction.
Yeah, sure.
So
but, even if that's the case, right, would I pay to have a chat to see whether or not I'm going to engage their services or not?
It's the preemptive chat.
Say you had someone who's coming around to give you a quote to help you fix something or other. You don't...
Or an actor going for an
or
audition.
An actor going...
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel if I cut you short, Victoria.
To me, the question is, at which point do you engage that sort of professional interaction? At which point does the charge become kind of legitimate?
When it's a mutually decided...
They decided on your behalf that it was worth $150.
But it's also, you don't pay someone $150 without even knowing what you're going to get.
Yeah, what do I get out of it?
Yeah, well, because it could be a 10-minute catch-up, right? That's pretty expensive. Like, that's above lawyer rates.
I did type an email in response.
What did it say?
I kept the name field blank because I've made that
Very wise.
made that mistake before.
As have I.
Yeah. I haven't still got the draft, but I'm pretty sure it's seared into my brain. It went something like, "Hi, blah, blah. Thanks for getting back to me. I had been planning on buying you a flat white, but last time I checked, they didn't cost $150. That was
Did you put any exclamation marks or brackets or
I
anything?
don't need exclamation marks. No, that's as far as I got. I didn't actually send it, but honestly, I just felt so incensed. But do you know what? It actually lit a fire underneath me and
Yes.
it's made me
Yeah.
go, you should be paying me $150. It's like, how do you know that I don't have something to offer you that is worth $150? Huh?
Yeah.
Uh,
Welcome to the actor's life, mate. Like, this is ridiculous. The number of self-tests, the number of auditions that you do. Back in the day, like 20 years ago, when you do a recall, you got paid $50 every time you went in to audition, and you get paid more and more the more you auditioned.
Really?
Now we are paying,
Oh, because you're moving through tiers.
yeah, I guess, tiers, TEARS as
Yeah,
well,
both.
depending on how many you shared.
Yeah.
You used to get paid for auditions. So I think it's a really interesting point, because it's like, what is paid work, especially, let's say, from my behalf, in creative industries, because all the time you're working, all the time, you know. Well, I mean, the hustling, the going to the opening nights, the reconnecting with
The
people.
networking.
Yeah. And I think, you know, and you can kind of go, oh, it's so fun, it's so great to catch up, but it really is like,
Work.
you're keeping it. It kind of is. And that kind of brings me to another thing about that I want to talk about this week as well, because I've done a lot of that this week. And yeah, who gets paid? That's what I want to know.
Well, no one really. I mean, I think
I know. I know none of us are making any
and
money.
I think that is the point. That is like, there's a cost of living crisis. People are now starting to charge for networking. Perhaps that's what's happening. Listen, I just got this email and I was like, you know, because sometimes you get an email and you're like, what? Like, I just found it so.
Yeah, you were incensed.
It really pissed me off. Like, I have to say, it is possibly one of the most uncouth professional experiences I've had in recent times. Like, listen, it's nothing major. It didn't.
Did you respond at all?
Yes. Yeah.
What did you say?
What was the vibe of it, if you don't want to reveal the exact wording?
The vibe was something along the lines of, because this person had said, I can't do it in the next couple of weeks, but I can the week after that, and then it'll be $150.
Okay.
So I just sent a response going, thank you so much for getting back to me. Things have turned a bit time critical.
Nice one.
But I'll definitely keep your services in mind in the future.
Your unspecified services that are already very expensive.
Yeah.
We've decided to go in another direction. That's I've heard that one. Yeah.
I think that I have displayed a lot of couth in the face of extreme uncouthery.
Do you know what? I am slightly on the fence with this one. Like, just because I do think that people perhaps in that person's position would have people having informal chats with them all the time, and that is what they have decided.
I'm getting bled dry here.
Field. Like, it does happen to me a little bit, and I will give my time willingly, but sometimes I think
I get it.
this is sort of extracurricular for me, and I could be charging for it.
And maybe it's just a barrier of kind of like, oh, I really can't be fucked. I don't want to have another one of these.
Yeah.
My brains are not yours to pick. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it's going to cost you $150.
Oh, yeah.
Pay to pick. That's what it is.
And then we don't.
Pay per pick.
Yeah. And then I don't have to have it, because no idiot is going to pay me $150 for unspecified services.
I know you think it's uncouth. You behaved in a couth way in return.
Thank you.
I think it's slightly couth, like not the way they delivered it, but I have sympathy for that position because I've been a freelancer a lot. I don't know, Caro, how do you feel?
Yeah, well, at least they're upfront about it. You know what I mean? It's not like you went and had coffee and then they sent you the bill.
you got a bill.
You're like, damn, I should have asked more questions.
So, couth or uncouth, Caro? I'm going to put you on the spot.
I'm finding it hard, because I'm falling on both
Are
sides.
you guys serious about this?
Sorry, mate. Yeah.
Oh my
I'm sorry.
God. Okay. Well, listen.
I wouldn't have paid it. I wouldn't have gone through with it.
I would have.
Expect some harsh judgment coming your way soon.
Are we going to start that to paying you to do the podcast?
Yeah, exactly.
Just send us a bill.
The thing that I find most interesting in all of this, like, you may recall, members of the couth may recall, we did a little like 3-way quiz, and you said in the question of get even or get over it that you were get over it. And I think that you're more in the arena of get even.
Oh, in this one. I understand what you're saying. Yes, get even. And do you know what? It did remind me of another time 20 years ago when I was perhaps a little rudderless, had a massive
Directionless.
ego and nothing external to justify it, basically. And
Nothing to pin it to.
yeah, exactly. It's just like, I'm brilliant.
In the ego on the what?
Doesn't seem to be kind of really bearing any fruit in my
Getting enough attention here.
in my real life. And my mother suggested I go and see a friend of hers who worked in kind of corporate recruitment or something. Then I sat with her. She was saying, you know, like, so what are you thinking about doing? And I was kind of like try and get an internship in New York, kind of, you know, which probably did sound like a very far-fetched and I don't know.
You can have dreams, mate. That's what life
You got to have dreams. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what she said to me? She said, well, what makes you think that you would get an internship in New York? And you know what? That pissed me off so much. I fucking went and got an internship in New York. So there you go.
Yeah, so I reckon this has actually been good. I reckon this got you $150 worth because you might have actually already gone, you know what, I'm going to do this anyway.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. It totally has lit a fire underneath my, not that I really need that because with the combination of the gas coming out of Bunsen and the fire, boom, off we go. Watch out.
Boom goes the dynamite.
This is a jet fuel situation. Well, I just feel like with your reaction to things, we could potentially see you as the first non-billionaire in space. You're gonna take that ego and compete with Elon Musk et al.
Did you say non-billionaire? I'll be a billionaire.
Love it. Bunsen goes interstellar. So I wanted to share a strange interaction that happened to me.
Yeah.
So it goes back to a few months ago when I went to a wedding, which I wore some silver pants, met some few people, had a great time. There was one woman who stuck out. She was in her 50s. She was really cool. She looked a bit younger. Not that that's important, but she just had this sort of air of like agelessness and cool. And I was like, you are great. And you've got some great moves on the dance floor and you're a lot of fun. And I enjoyed meeting you.
Did she look like she could be a member of the couth?
Yeah, kind of. She had some of those like Spanish camper shoes on. Like she was heaps 90s.
Dead giveaway.
One of us.
PLU.
Yeah.
And then sort of, I think it was last weekend, we were walking through the Adelaide Central Market, which is nearby, and I see someone on stilts. And I kind of look up and I realise it's her.
Oh,
no.
And I was like,
she's still wearing her campers.
Well, it was just a strange kind of moment. It was that sort of out-of-body experience. You're like, where do I know that face from? Don't know them well. Oh, yeah, she's that.
And was she just
lady.
She just doing her shopping on stilts, or was she professionally engaged by the market to sort of give it a crazy vibe?
It's unclear to me in what capacity she was there.
Yeah.
There was no kind of obvious theme for the day. Like it wasn't Bastille Day or anything like that. It was just clearly stilt walking day. But she was really cool and she kind of looked at us. I'm not really sure if she recognised Peter and I. We definitely enjoyed chatting to her.
Were you wearing silver pants?
I should have been, because they got a lot of compliments that day, unsolicited, which was awesome.
They're signature pants.
They are. But it was funny because she kind of gave us a panto wave and was like, I've got to keep this show on the road.
Yeah, I've got to keep stilting.
Yeah. And like, don't interrupt me here. And like, I maybe remember you, maybe don't, but I'll just pretend I do because other people were probably waving at her. But I was like, oh my God, like that is an awkward work interaction where you haven't previously revealed that you're a stilt walker and people are suddenly, their eyes are going all the way up and then they're like, oh my God.
We met at the wedding.
She's like, I got a job to do. I got to keep this rolling.
So I think that you can find out who this woman is, Victoria, because she could make up the other 0.5 and bring your number of friends in Adelaide up to 3.
Yeah, I've realised that that's actually probably a full-time enterprise and I can't manage like alongside this and like gainful employment. But Cara, it did make me think that you probably had some interactions.
Some
like
gainful employment. Yeah.
Well, just where the like things have been very awkward at work and you just had to keep the show on the road.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I remember some early jobs when we were at university. I'll do anything for money, anything. And there was a bit of a spate of going to parties as a performance act. And I thought, oh, yeah, that's cool. What do we have to do? Like, do we just improvise? I love improvising. That's great. And then I got there and they went, okay, get your gear off. And we had to be completely painted in gold paint and walk into these parties, not talk to anyone, just move around in an abstract way.
Oh, my God. It sounds like Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, and this was just like at a cocktail party in Port Melbourne. This is like in someone's apartment. And we're just rocking around and people – and no one knows how to react because they're all a little bit, drunk. It's also at the beginning of the party. Thank God, or it could have been a scene from Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, because there would have been like handprints all over the gold paint potentially.
Thankfully, the gold paint was so toxic, no one wanted to touch us. So that was quite good. And, let's face it, I was probably making the weirdest faces. And when they said abstract movement, I was definitely going for the abstract.
Did you have like undies, like
I don't really
underneath,
remember.
or were you like totes nude?
I think it was the 90s. So let's face it, there would have been some angular, sort of maybe like a pointy bra and some sort of strange lace arrangement.
There would have been pubic hair.
Yeah, there's a lot of hair.
Because now, if you did that, there would be no pubic hair would be expected. And if you did have it, it would have to be removed before paint was applied.
Well, let me just say, like, in terms of like $150, I think we just got $50. And I spent more time trying to wash that paint off than I did at the actual party.
Was the object of the game for you was just to avoid eye contact at all costs?
Just walk around being abstract.
As weird as possible. Keep everyone sort of repelled.
Yeah, and walk right up to people, like stealth up to them in some weird Philippe Gaulier kind of French mime way. And then there were a few gigs like that, that I think there was a bit of a spate going where we'd go to like beer launches and various parties. I never walked on stilts because I had no skills, but I could be abstract and covered in paint. That was pretty much.
Can you just describe what abstract is? Because you did some movements before. They were pretty cool, but it's like
moving sculpture. It's like Blue Man Group type movement.
It was Blue Man Group, exactly. But they're actually like they can move. They can drum and stuff. They can do cool stuff, right, as a group. And I think that was the idea, and we were just riding on that. So that's one gig. I've had all kinds of manner of gigs. But I'm sure, haven't we done any of these jobs together? I feel that we have. I handed out dental dams during Safe Sex Week as a safe sex fairy at university.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Any job. Always paid $50. Always 50. That was it.
Yeah, because it's an easy single note kind of exchange.
Sounds easy for you, but
I like 3 of them for my coffee, please.
That's inflation, mate. Cosy lives crass.
Yeah.
What else has been going on in your week that you wanted to talk about in terms of the acting profession?
I think it's really interesting. What is work? Because so much of what, let's face it, when they asked me to do that party gig, would you go to a party painted gold? I would have gone for free. I would have done it for free in this case because let's face it, that sounds fun. There's some canapes we can steal in the kitchen. This could be great.
Yeah.
Who are you going to meet? It's all really fun. And I think that there's something really blurry. And Cal and I went to a show last night at TheatreWorks that was a show that I was meant to be in that I had to pull out of to do this Julia show. And I got there and I saw Michaela Bannis, who was the one who had the show before me. And then she got a paying gig and she had to pull out of it. And then I took it and then I had to pull out of it. And then the writer was there as well. And it was a full house. It was a great show. It was an absolute ripper of a show. But no one, we're not getting paid. And the wonderful writer, Francis Greenslade, who's made this incredible show. It's got great reviews. And he said, oh, well, this is the biggest house we've had, cost of living crisis. People aren't coming to the theatre. And, what's the opposite of a profit share? Is it loss share? I was like, oh no, there's only 2 in the cast. They were working so hard, man. They're doing half of it's in iambic pentameter. Jesus. Then they're doing a whole lot of pinta. Then they're doing a ventriloquist act. It was unbelievably good,
What's the show called?
It's called The Platypus. But it was so brilliant. And I just thought, this is killing me. And Cal said, this is just so unfair. These people are working so hard. The set was amazing. They've got the best people in the industry there. David Fransky had done the sound design, just everything amazing. And we're doing it for the love, that's a thing.
Yeah.
We're all doing it for the love. And then the night before, yesterday, I had a run of the play. And before that, I went to the opening night of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. And before that, I went to another show that I was sort of meant to be directing.
When are you off? Like,
that
you're
is
on.
the thing. I'm actually exhausted.
You've you've networked yourself out.
I did, guys.
Yeah.
And then I did a run through of Julia, right, which is my one paying job.
Yeah.
And my brain glitched out. And I had all these brain farts and I forgot my lines.
Aw.
I jumped ahead 10 lines. I raced through things. I mean, I did some really good acting in it as well, and I can't keep myself too much about it. But I let myself down and I was like,
No.
dude, man, this
That's
is
kind of the
killing me.
process,
Like,
isn't it?
I've given and given and given all week.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a couple of glasses of red wine at one opening, but that was like nights earlier. But the social, your brain doing social things and going, oh, there's that producer and there's this director and there's these amazing people. And it's not like I'm like really young and I get nervous when I go to these things. I don't feel nervous anymore. I just get a bit like jumping into the harbour. I just get excited, and I want to connect with everyone. And I get so thrilled that we're all out and about and we're doing stuff. I think it's a bit post-COVID as well. I mean, I know that's a long time ago now, but it's just being out and it is work. It's work. Anyway, look, it's also like, oh, boo-hoo, I'm invited to opening nights. Like, that's ridiculous.
No, but listen, I think you're being a bit hard on yourself. Like, I also think glitching out in a run is like part of the actor's process. Like, you have a bad run before you have a good one. And
it's the second time I've ever done it too, like on the set. So,
the thing that people may not know is that the understudy is also a paid gig. So that's a great thing that's happening.
Oh, absolutely. And I've been connecting with other understudies as well. Like,
yeah.
And they're amazing actors, like people like Gareth Reeve, who's understudying on Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. And they have been literally performing under the stage at the Comedy Theatre, doing the show as the other actors are up on the stage.
Wow.
So they're mapping the entire thing out. And he said there's these trippy moments where, because next to this understage part is also the green room. So one of the actors, the Emily, who's playing Honey, comes off to get a quick drink of water before she goes back on stage. She walks into the scene that's being played out and she was hiding under the bench so as not to distract them. I'm like, what a crazy world we live in.
It's bananas.
Yeah. But, that's the thing. I guess we're lucky we're doing what we love, There's that.
Yeah.
Money's nice too.
And fair. I think this is the thing. You've got a foot in both camps, but maybe this is why we disagreed perhaps on this point, Bunsen.
I'm still getting over it. I come to you guys for support, and what do you give me?
I support you. I just can empathise.
Don't agree.
Not enough.
Yeah, whatevs. Okay, let's move on.
Well, I want to talk about a time when I didn't necessarily bring my A game recently.
What was it?
Got another quiz.
Oh, another quiz
for you guys. Another quiz. And it's around questionable workplace behaviour of me.
Oh.
This is a very simple quiz. Well, we'll see. I nearly made a bad call at work.
No.
This week. Nearly. This is the crucial thing. But saved myself from workplace embarrassment at the last minute. What did I contemplate doing? Did I decide against A, helping myself to someone else's snacks? B, licking a bowl for the last bit of my lunch? C, doing a spot of makeup in full view of the office? Or D, all of the above?
All of the above. Oh, I've seen you licking those bowls.
You are a bowl licker.
You know who else has seen you licking those bowls? Rupert Murdoch. He's seen you making them most of those last skerricks of peanut butter.
Yeah, wondering why you're not working for the Daily Telegraph anymore, Victoria. It's because you're a bowl licker.
Is that your answer, Bunsen?
Sorry, let me think about this. What did you say it was? A bad call at work?
I almost made a bad call.
Stealing someone's
I saved
snacks.
Myself.
I don't think you would ever do that. I don't think you'd steal. You're not a thief.
What do you mean? Of course you would. She didn't steal. She nearly steal. So she stopped herself.
She contemplated
I don't really think that it is, despite the fact that Rupert obviously has a big problem with it, I don't think that licking the bowl is the worst is such a bad call. If you're eating your own, I mean, it's not great.
Yeah, you lick your own bowl. Everyone's got an entitled to
a
lick
bit
their
of
own
makeup
bowl.
in front of the office. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Stealing
even in a
someone
reflection of the
else's
bowl.
snacks, that is bad. So I would say
All right.
A.
All right.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. I don't think you're a thief.
No, you
I
said
think you're
D.
too- you're
You
too
said
honourable.
all of the above.
All right, yeah, I'll go back to that.
What did you do?
I'm turning just very quickly.
Well, both of you are wrong.
What did you do?
It was, in fact, B.
Licking the bowl.
Licking the bowl.
Oh my! There's definite bowl licking happening. I knew that.
No, but I didn't. I was like, should I
Because
not?
I don't think
And
that Caroline's actually grasped the question.
I think bowl licking is like fine.
It's another one of Victoria's
negative.
double negatives. So just to be clear, the question
Did she not lick the bowl? Is that
Exactly,
what they're
exactly.
saying?
Thought about it, and then I went,
question
I'm
is-
not going to do it.
she was going to do something,
Oh,
but
you
she
didn't even do it. No,
She didn't even do it.
But
So she's
That's
I was
your
like,
A game.
she's giving us a quiz. She's giving us a quiz about something she thought about doing but didn't do.
So this is mens rea, basically, the intent to commit crime, but not
Exactly.
actually the real thing.
And yet again, I saved myself at the last minute, like the time I almost jaywalked and then saw someone else.
No,
Yeah,
put the tongue away.
get done in front of me. No, so I thought about licking the bowl. I was like, no, can't do it. Too uncouth. I'm in an office. And then someone knocked on my office door just as I put the bowl
Just-
down, and I was like,
Did you have the bowl kind of like up towards your face? And then someone knocked at the door and you quickly put it down?
Oh,
no, I'd kind of put the notion to bed. I'd weighed it up. I'd consider it. I was like, lick the bowl.
What was in the bowl?
oh yeah, because that's my thought. Because I'm thinking about context here.
What was it?
It was a, classic office lunch of a tuna type
Salad.
something or other in a bowl. Yeah.
Basically,
And it was delicious.
just trying to lick the vinegar of the dressing
How rude. Yes, that's exactly right.
because it gives her the semblance of like some kind of kick.
We're going back to chili. We're coming
Oh,
back
mate.
to chili.
I've got some breaking news for
Coming
you
back
guys.
to bite you on the ass.
I raw dogged my breakfast this morning. No
Oh,
chili.
no.
Unbelievable.
What happened? How was it for you?
Bland as fuck. I wouldn't recommend. I need the hit. I need the pain, Bunsen.
Can I just ask though, because I think about it, I have seen you do a lot of bowl licking in your time, actually, because you
She's a
lick
bowl
you
licker.
lick bowls like salad bowls.
Tell me one time. I need an instance.
Has she done it in public?
I thought I was better behaved than
What
that.
about a finger? What about a finger on the plate? Would you do that?
Finger's fine.
You do
But,
a
but have I licked
finger
a bowl in
sweep?
your presence, Bunsen? Because I feel like I only do that in the privacy of my own home and I think about it in the privacy of my workplace. Come on.
Is public my house? When you say has she ever done it in public? Like
Yeah, no, your house.
I've definitely
Like, have I
seen
done it
you
in
lick a
front of you?
plate. I've definitely seen you lick a plate.
Yeah, well, we
Have
live
you?
together.
Yeah.
Like,
She's licked.
would that have been in the days of living together?
No. I mean, I'm talking like in the last 12 months.
Disgusting.
Cost of living. It's cost of living crisis. You got to get the most out of your meal.
Listen, I think we've just revealed that I am, in fact, an animal, and
Uncouth.
I am disgusting. All right, well, we have been yanging on for quite some time, so it's time for our So Uncouth of the Week.
Yes. What is it?
Very exciting.
Well, I bring to your attention a Brazilian politician who joined an online meeting from the wrong location, allegedly by mistake.
What do you mean?
A 3-time mayor of Brazil's Rio de Janeiro. I don't know if that's how you say it.
I love that.
Is that Rio de Janeiro? Is that where we're?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
that's
Sorry.
yeah, thank you. Was caught joining an online meeting while sitting on the toilet, as per a report in The Independent.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. One of the pandemic's greatest hits. You join a Zoom, you're somewhere you shouldn't be, or you're in a state.
Mute the flush.
That is what the blur background is for, my friends.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, right, this guy, Cesar Maia, he's actually a former mayor now, so I don't know what capacities he's working in. He sounds like just a lifetime politician because it seemed like watching the video, which is apparently gone viral, that he thought he could get away with it. It was kind of a waist up situation, like a newsreader, like, like I'm just anywhere joining this and you don't need to worry about it. But at some point, the camera angle kind of went down and it took in the lower region,
Of
which
a
was
cistern.
pants. No, but I think he actually was wearing underpants. So I don't really know what was going on
He's
there.
probably, maybe he was just hiding.
Yeah, he could have been trying to get a bit of quiet in his house. And the only place it's quiet is the toilet.
As my mother used to say, poos in peace.
Oh,
She just wanted us to leave her alone.
yeah.
As per the article in NDTV World News, the politician quickly realised his error after the other participants of the meeting noticed that he had his trousers around his ankles. Mr. Meyer then hurriedly grabbed his device to show his face. And
there's another spin on this. Like, I don't know if it is uncouth because at least he's on time for his meeting, A. B, at least he's not having any mishaps during the course.
But I feel like he could have turned the camera off and muted the sound, like introduced himself and just waited for his turn to speak. But listen, I just wanted to reassure you guys.
Yeah. You have pants on?
Have
you got pants on?
Well, I just wanted to make it clear that I would never be so unprofessional.
She's about to tilt down.
And I would... I just want you to know that what you see is what you get. And I would never take you to places that you didn't want to go, metaphorically speaking. And on that note, I'll copy us later.
Copy us later.
Oh, she's flushed us. Flushed us out.